Hi, I'm Teresa Devitt Lynch. Pat Iyer and I have been working on a conference for legal nurse consultants and forensic nurses on the basics of criminal case consulting. We're going to have a nationally known ballistics expert speaking, also attorneys, business experts, and forensic nurses and legal nurse consultants. And I have with me here today Tristan Wristen, who is one of our legal nurse consultants and a forensic nurse who will be talking at the conference as well. So Tristan, can you just kind of go over some of the key points that you'll be talking on?
Sure. And thanks, Teresa, for having me on this conference. I'm really excited to be a part of it. I hope to make my presentation an interesting one from start to finish. And first, we're going to start out with the beginning of any gunshot wound case, which is the actual gunshot wound from start to finish. The evidence begins at the 911 call. I'm going to follow that patient into the hospital and talk about the different types of evidence that can be found in the body. So not just bullet ballistic evidence, but wound ballistics. What about the injuries show us certain aspects that are important to know about the crime? And what can we note as healthcare providers in the emergency department and other areas as evidence documented appropriately and properly collect and preserve all of the evidence?
So as an LNC, I would imagine it's important to have an understanding, even though we're not going to be in the hospital collecting the evidence, but I bet it's important to understand what healthcare providers could and should be doing for a gunshot wound.
Absolutely. It's going to show different things that you can look for, different aspects of the documentation, the wounds, the injuries can tell a lot about the direction from which the bullet came from. The reports in the documentation of maybe utterances from the alleged victim saying certain directions or I turned my back. Every aspect is important of the documentation. So I'm looking really more from the healthcare setting, what pieces of documentation and the imaging and the patho findings that are involved in these gunshot wound cases that are important to look at to corroborate the reports from that 911 call, the police records, and the medical documentation.
That's fantastic. I'm very excited to hear your presentation. So the conference is called Follow the Path of the Bullet. It'll be held on 27 and 28 January. And you can find a link to the course at http://lnc.tips, TIPS/GSW. Let me do that again. http://lnc.tips/GSW. Well, thanks, Tristan, for being here, and I'm looking forward to a great conference.
Same. Thank you, Teresa.